SmackDown live from Dublin, Ireland this week, which means we in the U.S. here saw it taped.
I know, hilarious.
We didn't see it live. At least we weren't allowed to legally watch it live. Can't say what people did or didn't do in their own houses or whatnot with VPNs and all this stuff that exists in the world. But if you are a law-abiding citizen in the United States of America, you had to watch SmackDown at 7 p.m. I guess Central Time. It was 5 p.m. West Coast time, 8 p.m. The regular time.
Yeah, crazy. So we were basically 8 hours behind.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, that's about the time difference from the California, western part of the United States to the England part of the world. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is just, to me, another problem that the United States WWE customer faces right now with the ever-changing landscape that they are forced to deal with, as far as now having to have Netflix, some access to USA Network,
mm-hmm.
Peacock, and now ESPN, their premium priced subscription in order to watch everything. Whereas in the international market, just in Canada and Mexico even, Netflix, you get it all. All of it. All of the above.
Live, too.
Live. You didn't even have to wait. You could have watched this at noon, California time.
Yes.
3 p.m. New York time. You could have watched it live. This feels so anti-2025 technology, like where we are. And it's being held together by like these ancient TV deals. And well, if you want to learn more about the ever-changing landscape of WWE and streaming, check out our ESPN piece that we published just last week, Nika. Mm-hmm. And you will learn a lot about everything that you need to know as far as what you need to be able to access all of WWE these days. And
it's happening very fast.
It is. It's happening faster than you might have originally thought.
Starting next month? Really, when you think about it.
It is. It's happening right at the changing of the season, September 20th. So right when fall starts. Mm-hmm. Paris will be the last time we have a paid live event on Peacock as far as the main event roster is concerned.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we did have a show happening in Dublin, Ireland, and we did get greeted by the hometown hero, Becky Lynch. No, she did not get the warmest of welcomes because of her own doing. Of course, she's a villain these days, and she made herself feel very, very, very special.
Ooh.
But she was also, I want to point out, she's not a regular on the SmackDown programming.
Right.
She's on Raw usually. Mm-hmm. And so this was really this caught my attention right away because I was like, oh, you get a little crossover here, even within the main event roster. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, she was interrupted by Tiffany Stratton,
who is on SmackDown. And I love it when this happens because we get these crossovers with people that we don't normally get to see in the ring together. Yes. And Becky and Tiffany are both really pretty good on the microphone. So that's an instant win for me with this episode of SmackDown. It far exceeded the last one, which those customers got shafted. If you haven't checked that out, make sure you watch our previous review because, man, they only got John Cena, right? They didn't really get anything else. Oh, wait, they did not get Cena. No, they only got
Drew McIntyre. They didn't get John Cena, Logan Paul, or Cody Rhodes. All right. Well, this episode was off to a much better start. By the way, Becky Lynch made an excellent Bono joke. So make sure you listen to that about sunglasses inside and how professional wrestlers are the only people allowed to wear sunglasses inside. Nika, who is allowed to wear shades inside, in your opinion?
Whoever wants it.
Whoever wants to. You're allowed to these days. It doesn't matter.
Sometimes you got to have the darker glasses because of your vision.
Yeah, I mean,
medical reasons.
I thought it was always elevated to rock star status.
Oh, there's that,
when you were allowed to do that.
You know who wears it?
To me, Bono and Seth Rollins both meet the rock star status equation. Maybe Bono less these days, but he certainly did at one point in his life.
Whoever smokes some weed wears sunglasses inside.
That's probably it. Yeah. Now we're on to something. We got to hide those bloodshot eyes.
There you go.
All right. Well, now that we got that cleared away, we know who's allowed to wear shades inside.
Becky Lynch and Tiffany were joined in the ring by not only Nia Jax at first, who got into it with Tiffy. They started beating on her, and then Tiffy gets rescued by Jade Cargill, of all people, who she just had a feud with. And so by the time the dust settles on this, we wind up getting a main event for this episode of SmackDown, and it's the women taking the center stage for once as the main event, and it was Becky Lynch and Nia Jax versus Tiffy Time and Jade Cargill.
It was just a little bit of a tag team of
a little bit, and it was really kind of fun. I had a good time with this. I liked seeing Becky Lynch get to mix it up with the SmackDown women for a change. Becky tried to leave Nia Jax. It reminded me of Naomi bailing on the Hervis recently. If you'll remember. So classic heel move to abandon your teammate. I want to point out that Jade and Tiffy won this matchup. Jade was able to pin Nia Jax for the win, but just this whole thing was fun. It was just fun to see Becky get into it with people that she doesn't normally get into the ring with. Now, I want to point out that we had no Nikki Bella for Becky Lynch here in any way. She didn't show up and like she did on Raw just a few days earlier.
Well, she might have stayed stateside.
She might have. And I wanted to point out, we do not have any official announcement for those two to have a match in Paris yet as of now. And the ticket itself is a couple matches light when it comes to the normal amount of matches that we get for a paid live event, but also with women. Every match that's been announced for Paris so far is all male. And so we need a couple or at least one or two female matches. And I didn't know if Becky was going to be participating. She's already there.
I think so. I think there might be a last minute or like a spur of the moment situation. I'm kind of feeling like it's gonna. I'm
kind of feeling like it's gonna be more for the September 20th event now, though. And we'll talk about more about that in 1 second. So before we get to that, just wanted to say one last time that I loved the opening with Becky and everyone coming out, Tiffy Time. But just the way this unfolded and just that we got to see something new that we don't normally get to see.
Spot on.
Great job by the WWE people in charge for that one. And then I wanted to turn our attentions. I think this was probably the second biggest story of the evening, or maybe the biggest, depending on how you look at it, was John Cena and Logan Paul's escalating feud, reaching new heights. John Cena got a great ovation when he first came out to the SmackDown crowd, and he did get a billing ahead of time that he was going to be coming out, but before he even uttered a single word on the mic, Nika, we got the interruption by Logan Paul, the influencer, and he came out and gave a really long speech. I wrote down this was a 18-minute long segment in full, unedited.
Wow.
That is really long.
But it was a lot of chanting from the audience.
There was a lot of chanting. I mean, this is from the time Cena's music hits and comes down, does all the corners of the ring, cheering, and then he gets announced still as the greatest of all time and that whole spiel. And then he's about to take the mic up to us, and then nope.
So was that
Logan Paul's music hits, then he takes his time coming down to the ring and he's getting booed. And then as you mentioned, yes, every time Logan Paul tried to speak, it seemed like they were chanting something at him. They were calling him all kinds of names, a wanker. There was some bleeping.
There was a lot of bleeping for our ears for some reason, but
yeah. Anyways, 18-minute long promo segment of just these two basically duking it out on the mic. And Logan Paul went first. And then John Cena took the mic and sort of flipped the script on him a little bit here and kind of complimenting Logan Paul. And then he dropped the other shoe on him,
of course.
And he kind of says like he was an outside, he's not an outsider like Logan Paul claims. He's a disappointment, and that they welcomed him into WWE, and all he's done is kind of turn their back on them and use them. And anyways, he did say that he is a future champion, Nika, and he also said he's a future WrestleMania main eventer. So I'm going to ask you, do you see that in Logan Paul's future?
Definitely.
You do?
I do see that. I do see it because he does have a good mic skills, and he's a really good wrestler. We have seen him in few matches in the tag teams, on the mics, against Cena. I think he's going to do just fine.
Oh, yeah. This is a huge profile boost for him to get put onto Cena's Greatest Hits tour here at the end. I agree with everything, especially since Triple H called him out specifically for his in-ring skills and how good they are. Yeah, he's got a bright future ahead of him in WWE as long as he stays healthy and keeps a good head on his shoulders.
The question is he going to stay a heel for the duration of his wrestling stuff, or he will flip back and forth?
Oh, well, it's interesting. You should bring that up, Nika, because that was one of my next talking points here. And, as John Cena ended this first segment here with these two on SmackDown by dropping his signature attitude adjustment finisher on Logan Paul, is that any foreshadowing? Do we think this feud changes any dynamics with Logan Paul's character in any way?
Is he gonna slowly start turning babyface and replace Cena when he retires?
That's an interesting thought. I mean, I just kind of felt like there should be a reason for this matchup, right? And other than Logan Paul just wanting to quote unquote make a name for himself, and even though I think that's what they're doing behind the scenes by giving him this matchup, is they're raising his profile, like I just said. I do feel like it would be an interesting development if sort of like this whole Cena trying to teach him a lesson storyline actually came with a payoff at the end where maybe he did switch and handshake him or something at the end of their match, or I don't know. But I do think John Cena is going to beat his ass. And I do think Logan Paul is going to do some great stunts in this matchup that are going to put him on the map. And whether or not people like him or as far as his persona goes, I do think they will always respect him for some of the things that he's going to do in WWE.
Yeah, I'm just curious, how hard is it to get out from being pigeonholed as a babyface or a heel? I know things have to happen naturally, but if you play babyface or a heel for a long, long time, you're always associated with that. And how hard is it to go and become something else? I mean, Naomi is a good example.
Yeah.
She used to be a babyface, and it took her to develop a new character to become a heel.
Well, I think it's always easier to go from good guy to bad guy and be a heel versus than it is to like reverse course and become a good guy. But the easiest way to do it is through an act of either villainy or heroicism. You know, like you either help a good guy win or out of a bad situation, especially in a moment of need when it's unexpected. Like for example, if Becky Lynch was out for a long time and then all of a sudden she came back and helped Tiffany time out of a situation where she was getting beat up by the Secret Service or something, like people might be like, whoa. And all of a sudden they might be like, is she good now? You know, like, and so you could have those situations happen naturally. Just through writing and absences. Like, that's why I wonder when Naomi comes back, what her status will be. I mean, it might depend on the balance of the roster and like how many villains there are at this point and how many baby faces.
Well, with Naomi, they got plenty of time.
They got plenty of time, at least, 8.5 more months or so.
Well, let's just, at least a year. Give her some time.
Yeah. I'm going to miss Naomi.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. Well, I want to get into a few quick takeaways here from SmackDown before we get out of here. Before we get off of John Cena and Logan Paul.
I know it's Sunday and Pope is on your mind, I guess.
No, Led Zeppelin. John Paul Jones. No, before we get off of this, I mean, we missed almost the biggest part of the developing story here, which is that Logan Paul sneak attacked John Cena backstage as the show went off the air. So as the show was going off the air, Cena was doing a backstage interview promo, and Logan Paul did a sneak attack on him from behind and kind of laughed. Cena was out cold, like no movement, just, roll cameras and then, did not move once.
Oh, he pulled Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, knocked out cold. But I want to point out something interesting that I found out later is because this episode aired live as it was happening on Netflix internationally, and then later on USA Network in the United States, it was revealed to me that the show itself had the ending refilmed.
So take two on the ending.
There was a take two on the ending. And if you do a lot of digging, you might be able to find out potentially why this was done. But apparently the pulled punch in take one, you can see quite a bit of a gap between Logan Paul's fist and John Cena's face.
So they got to work on that.
So, maybe their stunt work, their punches a little bit better, right?
Sure. After all, it is a teamwork.
As the old saying goes, you got to pull your punches.
Yeah.
You got to pull your weight. So they reshot this ending, and I just think that that's a little bit fascinating.
It is fascinating. They couldn't do it live, so they you know what? We're just gonna.
They could not do a Bill O'Reilly and do it live.
They couldn't. So they said basically, well, American audience, they're not gonna notice.
Yeah, they tried to pull a fast one, and Twitter/X was not having it.
Oh, good.
They got called out on their BS. You can't pull one past these people, man.
I know.
You cannot do it. All right. Before we get out of here, a few other quick takeaways from this episode of SmackDown. Drew McIntyre is huge in Dublin, Ireland.
Yes.
I know he's the Scottish psychopath, but they were digging it.
They love it.
Drew McIntyre came out, cut a promo. No Cody Rhodes again.
Well, he's a knocked out Colt. He brings the updates.
No.
It's the part of the writing.
Cody Rhodes is filming a Street Fighter movie.
I know.
And
Roman Reigns too.
So Randy Orton showed up and took his place and filled in for Cody Rhodes to help out his buddy, I guess, his protege.
Yeah.
The mentor helping the protege here on SmackDown. He RKO's Drew McIntyre in front of a crowd that was into Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
So they did now sing Randy Orton's music with him. And I mean, it's very catchy music, Nika. It's very catchy.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, how can you not? However, I want to bring back to the Street Fighter filming and ask, I've been under the impression that we were going to get Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes in Europe. And I am starting to not think that now. I am thinking that this is going to be at WrestlePalooza on September 20th on ESPN. What do you think?
I'm not there fully yet because we still have the Clash of Paris. In Paris.
I mean, we do, but I mean, it's next weekend. It's a week from today.
Well, maybe Cody Rhodes is filming Street Fighter in France.
Yeah, I got a couple things I will say about this. Like, one, I guess if Cody's not going to make an appearance on the European tour at all, I feel like that's a huge missed opportunity by WWE powers that be. And I know filming a movie, I know what goes into filming a movie. Trust me, I'm a film editor. But I have to say, if the scheduling is what
conflicting.
Well, if the scheduling is keeping him from making at least one appearance overseas on this tour, I feel like that's a mistake a little bit.
Well, he is the poster child for WWE.
He's got the biggest belt.
Yeah, he's the face of the organization.
With all due respect to Seth Rollins and the world heavyweight title, Cody Rhodes' belt is the main belt. It's the Hogan belt. It's the Triple H belt. It's the main belt. So
and not having him in the tour, it's a slight.
It is. So I got to ask, if Cody Rhodes, let's say, is a no-show for this entire European tour, are we going to see potentially Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre either on SmackDown next week or even added to the Clash in Paris just as a match?
We might, because those two work together well. Mm-hmm. Randy Orton is popular. He's a big star. And I think it will be a stopgap.
Yeah, exactly. While Cody's doing his filming and Drew and him are having this feud.
But we just had that fight. It was a tag team when we had a Jolly Roll group.
Yeah, I know. So, I mean, at least there's a little bit of recent history, too, you could say.
Exactly.
And there's a reason for them to have a match then. I had kind of forgotten about that, even though I shouldn't have. But I will say, I think if they do decide to have this match, I would prefer they keep it on SmackDown. And because there's already 4 male matches, and without a belt on the line or anything like at stake, I just would rather have that be on SmackDown. And
makes more sense that way.
We are getting a title match on next week's SmackDown that we do know of, and that is Sami Zayn is going to be mixing it up with Solo Sikoa for the United States Championship belt. Nika, any early predictions for this matchup?
Yes, Solo is going to retain his belt.
Oh, do you think so? Okay, I will agree with you. Now, do you think it's going to be a clean victory?
No, of course not.
Hell no. It's never a clean victory with Solo Sikoa, as he would laugh.
Yeah.
That's my Solo Sikoa face, everybody.
If they're going to go bold, they will give Sami a belt. But then what happens with that later? What is the storyline with that?
Well, I think that would be interesting then to get it mixed up with Jacob, who would be like, hey, I wanted that belt back.
Oh.
Anyways, I don't think I see Sami winning here. Mm-hmm. I just think he's getting a title chance. And I don't know. It would be interesting also if Jacob interferes maybe and costs him, similar to how we saw CM Punk cost LA Knight the title against Seth Rollins, because that just makes more conflict. Mm-hmm. You can still have Jacob feuding with Solo Sikoa, and now you have Jacob also feuding with Sami. Sami can be feuding with Solo Sikoa, and Sami can also have this like mini feud with Jacob going on in the background. And it's good. It's good to have characters that people both like Jacob and Sami, in a feud with each other.
Sure.
So I like it. My early prediction, though, is that Solo Sikoa will retain via dirty means. That's how he plays. That's how he rolls. All right. R-Truth mixed up his travel plans, everybody, and he missed his match with Aleister Black, so fans were instead treated to a Damian Priest special.
Yeah, he went to Dublin, Georgia.
I feel so bad for R-Truth. He did the whole Cena thing. Then he got released. Then he got brought back, and it was explained off as some kind of storyline that was all part of it, which may or may not be true. We don't know for sure all the details. And then he gets kind of put into the shadows. He came on Raw after he got re-signed, cut off his dreadlocks, announced that he's now Ron Killings instead of R-Truth, and we haven't really seen him since. And now we see him show up on a video camera here. He was supposed to wrestle Aleister Black, and instead
we got Damian
he made
Priest.
wrong travel plans. He wound up in Georgia,
Dublin, Georgia, or something like that. Don't quote me on it.
Crazy. I don't know if I like this writing or not, but at least the fans got a match.
Yeah, they did, but they got Aleister fighting Damian Priest instead.
Absolutely. WWE fashion time here. Drew McIntyre and Tiffy time get the Irish awards for best dressed this week.
They did go with the plaid.
Tiffy time had some lovely yellow plaid on. She was rocking her normal attire, but it just had a plaid look. Really good on her, actually. Yeah. And then Drew McIntyre had some green plaid on. He went full on Irish. But no wonder the fans were into him.
I thought plaid was more Scottish, but hey.
When you're in that neck of the woods, I guess.
It doesn't matter.
Charlotte Flair did not get the memo. She went full on leopard print here. And since we're on the topic, she was defeated by Piper Niven this week. A rare, I guess, loss for Charlotte here.
Well, she didn't have her partner.
She did not. I wanted to mention Alexa Bliss not in attendance. I got to call out Alexa a little bit. Where are you? Yeah, your partner gives you a birthday celebration, a cake, and then
what's up with that?
She goes overseas and you just abandon ship, and she got her ass beat. Where were you?
You know what? She was with R-Truth in a different location.
Yeah, I guess so. They missed the memos, everybody. But yeah, I was a little bit surprised to see Charlotte lose this matchup. But I guess you got to keep it somewhat interesting.
Yeah.
I also wanted to point out Chelsea Green interfered in this matchup because of course she did. And they don't win clean, but she also is flying back to the US. She's here now. She's going to be on the NXT tonight on Peacock in a mixed gender match. What do they call those? A mixed tag team match. So male and female participants, which in my opinion have just been generally a waste of time when I watch them, and total filler matches. So kind of wanted to point that out and say like, hey, Chelsea, I noticed your travel schedule and I feel for you, girl, because that's a lot of time changes really quick. And she's going to probably have to go back, right?
I would think so. Or unless she meets them in France, she just gives the British thing.
Yes. All right. Well, that leads me to one last note here before we get out of here. And that is that Raw is going to be at a special time on Monday, tomorrow. And that is because they are overseas and the U.S. has Netflix, at least the Raw part of it. It's one damn show we share with the international community. And so therefore, we get to watch it live with them, Nika. Woohoo! Oh, joy for us. Yay.
These backrooms deals, old, outdated deals, TV deals, they got to go.
Yeah. I feel like Vince McMahon's like cigar smoke from the 1980s is still fresh on the damn paperwork.
It's nuts.
It is nuts. It's just, it's so frustrating that in the United States, you have to have 4 services to watch everything. And in the Canada or Mexico and everywhere else,
just one.
God bless America. All right. Well, that's all the time we got here for this segment on the Kenikka Sports Show. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back here with some Raw reactions maybe tomorrow evening, maybe Tuesday morning. We'll see. We'll see how it all goes. There's so much sports happening. Baseball, football season is right here, right now, even though Nika doesn't want to admit it. She doesn't. She's like, I can't get into it. And I'm like, I'm sorry. We have to give our fans what they want.
Oh, football is just too early. I need some snow on the ground to have football. And this is not it. We're in the desert.
We're never going to get snow on the ground here, sweetheart.
No.
All right. Well, we'll see you folks later.